This video tutorial for SongSurgeon version 3 for Mac will cover the basic controls found down here at the bottom of the user interface. These are fairly self-explanatory, I think, but at the same time there are a couple of things that you might want to be aware of. First of all, these first three buttons over here are sort of the normal stop, start, and pause buttons. So here's the main button for playing, here's the pause, and here's the stop. This little button here is a toggle to play something repeatedly. So if you click it on, when the song hits the end, it will jump back to the beginning and play it. So it's almost like setting a loop at the beginning and the end and just playing a song forever. And when it's toggled off, of course, it plays through only once and then it stops. Over here on the right is simply a digital readout of the length of the audio that's open on your screen, in this case 4 minutes 33 seconds and 5/100ths, and then the first number here, which is zeros, which are all zeros right now, is the current position of the song. So as the song plays, these numbers will change and they will indicate where the song is currently positioned on the timeline. For instance, I've just moved the current position. You can see now it says it's at 51 seconds and 17/100ths. The last thing that I want to mention to you, and this is fairly important, is the volume indicator here. Now obviously, you grab this and you adjust it, and in addition to adjusting this volume, you also have a system volume for your Mac that you can also adjust. But the one thing that I want you and need you to understand is that this volume slider here also affects the volume of what you export. So if you ever use the export button to create a new file, if you have the volume set down at 50%, the volume of what you create is going to be 50% of the original. So that's fairly important to understand, and I would normally suggest that you leave it on 100%, or if you have a file open like the one on the screen where it is highly compressed, meaning that the audio data pushes the limits here of the boundaries to the point that if it went over it ever so slightly, it would start to clip. I would suggest in those cases that rather than set it at 100%, you actually pull it back to maybe 95% or something like that. Because when we process changes to these files, we change the waveform data. By definition, that is what we have to do in order to change pitch or tempo or both. And when we change that waveform data, the graphing, which is what you see here, this is nothing more than a graph, the graphing of the data actually will slightly change and it could push it over the line. So the safe thing to do is to pull this back to roughly 95%. So that's a little bit of a digression, but I think it's an important one, and with that we'll conclude this training video. Thanks. Bye.